Okay, I'm back to show you the results of the coffee dyeing project today. As you can see, I still have papers, wet papers on the paper toweling. I will leave them there, probably overnight. If they're dry this evening, I can pick them up, but they will be dry in the morning if they're not done tonight. I didn't change the paper towels. And the paper towels get kind of wrinkled from the water and everything, and so the coffee pools on the papers in patterns. And these papers will be a lot more rustic looking and what's that word? Anyway, they're grungy. They're gonna look a lot more grungy. I did sprinkle some salt on some of them because I kept forgetting to do it. I didn't want to sprinkle salt on all of them, but I did want it on enough that it had a little pattern throughout the books. So anyway, you will see the results of these. You've seen these really grungy papers, and I've mentioned it in other videos, how I get that effect. And that happened one day when I was doing a large batch of paper, and I was really tired, and I just had this counter full, and everything else was already out of the oven, and I just left it to dry, and because I was just too tired to continue. And I really liked the way that it looked. So now I do that, not every time, but almost every time I leave some out to dry. So let me just show you what we have done besides these that are still, you can see what's on my counter here. This one is just an empty spot. That's just paper towel there. And over here is the stack that's done. So I have the lined paper. And you can maybe tell that the line's blurred, which I like. This one was done on the Nordic Ware pan. Very crispy. And then the plain paper, this was heavy copy paper. There's still a wet spot there, so I'll be careful not to tear that while it continues to dry. I could set it on the oven rack, which I think I will, because it's still hot in there, as long as I don't forget it. I'm going to set that on the oven rack so that spot will dry. And there's one on the Nordic Ware. This one was overlapped with another piece of paper, as you can see. There's one from the pizza pan. There's even mark of the rim around it where it was hanging over the rim. You can see the Nordic Ware emblem right there. So this probably will end up on the page because it's too far into the middle to get cut off. So I would do a collage on that or put a pocket on it or something to cover that up. You can see the black spots on this one, and I did wipe the pan off, and I didn't get those black spots anymore. I don't know what that came from, but it just makes it look grungier. There's where the salt was. It's a little bit gritty, so I just brushed the salt off. This one had more salt on it. This one had a little hole where I tore it out of the tablet, and again it has the Nordic Ware emblem on it. But I don't mind that hole. And this will probably end up being in the center of the signature anyway. Depends on how I use it in the book. But I was kind of wondering how the dots would show up if I put it on one of the patterned cookie sheets, but I like it. You can still see the blue dots, and I really like the textured look of the blue dots and the coffee dye pattern. And then the large papers, again, the Nordic Ware symbol on there. Pizza pan. So I got quite a lot done. These are for the farm journal, these pattern papers. Looks like burlap and wood, different colors of wood. So there we have it. Let's see, was there something else I wanted to talk about? Oh, you can, if you have a pan that has an emblem on it, you can mask that with something, but like I have done it with, I put an index card over it that I was coffee dyeing, and then it didn't show up on the paper. Of course, it showed up on the index card, but I left the index card there for a couple of batches. But then you have the square from the index card on your paper, so I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. I just laid this down on the wet paper. It doesn't bother me to have that Nordic Ware on the paper if I cover it up. I don't really want it in the journals unless I'm making a really junky junk journal. Did I have anything else to talk about? I don't think so. I think I got everything I wanted to say. So thanks for watching. I hope this was a helpful, I don't know if it was a tutorial. Maybe you could call it a tutorial. I was just showing you how I coffee dye paper. I hope it was helpful to you. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.